Okay, so I am doing a music video review, okay? And I think that that is probably my best option. I could do movie reviews too. It's instead of really telling it like it is, as they say, and talking about the true reality of my existence, even at a local environment level, shall we say. You know, you're surrounded by essentially artificial intelligence on the screen in every area, even in the demigods' so-called creative music videos that express probably the higher emotions and feelings of, I guess what it is to be a human, or our dreams and our fantasies, and sometimes, if we're lucky or unlucky, our reality. But also, it is a reverse world that is a matrix of deception. Because it's a reverse world, you see. So everything is about control and misleading you, giving you a false idea, a false impression, a false idea of what's really taking place in the reality, a false idea of what's around me. I only see the true reality around me at a local level now because it has become so unbearable at a sight and sound level. In other words, at a real level. We're not talking about theories and what may have happened here or there, or who's controlling the world and all this sort of rubbish. No. It is a reality that the beings or people that are around you are controlling you. And I was about to say trying to, but they literally are, because before I turned this mobile on, I was going out of my head almost because of the sound. And as soon as I got the mobile, they turned the sound off. It was really unbearable. But I thought, if I can film it, it shows that the noise level is unacceptable. But every time I go to film something where it really shows something, or even if I speak something that makes a bit of sense, the video never seems to happen. Either it's turned off, because like I say, it's a matrix. They can turn everything on or off at will. So, anyway, I'm doing a music video, so why have I gone off onto... Because even the music videos do relate to the reality. But then, of course, you'll say, well, the demigods are expressing the truth, so we should worship or like or trust or think that they are real. The demigods are part of the matrix. Demigods are part of the artificial technical matrix. They are your demigod androgyne beings. That means that they are advanced androgynes that are technical in nature. Their advanced intelligence, retrieving human thoughts, emotions and feelings, interpreting them in a creative manner. Something to that effect, okay? And of course the demigods, because they are beautiful androgynes, or androids, same thing. That simply means they're duality beings that combine what they consider to be the two creative bodies, the two creative body the two bodies that make for creation, the two different separate bodies that make for creation, they combine to where you have like what they call like the God entity of this world is a two-faced, one-eyed technical being. That's putting it like bluntly. But it's, if you follow and believe in that particular God that controls this reality, then naturally you're going to emulate its demeanour, its essence and what it is, just as a human being was supposed to be created from a more natural source. So we're told, and this would appear to be the case in my reality, because otherwise why do they target and try to suppress an apparently insignificant little human being, shall we say? That's the thing. But anyway, I'm going to do the music video, so I better stop here and try to do this just for a second if I can. It's a bit hard because I don't know if they're going to just bring that sound on again, because my head is still throbbing from it. I was hoping to get a video of it because the sound has to be unbearably loud for my human ears. For my ears, for the mobile to pick it up to where you can hear that it's a really unreasonable sound. Even loud noise that comes into the house, which it does all the time, won't be picked up by the mobile. In fact, my voice, if I'm talking into it, will override any sound. Even the planes going over, even though they are, they go over the roof, so they're very noisy, particularly the big jets, for me. I'm just using that as a comparison. But, they're using massive machinery around here, and even all over the streets too, whenever they're doing their apparent work. If they want to turn on the sound level, as apart from their physical presence being made aware that you're patrolled and that you're watched, which you're always aware of, and it's very stressful. In fact, you're being conditioned to accept a state of stress or tension to where you're always, like them, hyper-vigilant and almost in a kind of survival mode. So they're reversing the roles round. They take on your persona as a human being, where they pretend to be a light being, shall we say, because a human being has the potential for light and dark, or positive and negative human emotions, happy or sad, that type of thing. Whereas an artificial being doesn't have any potential for happy, high vibe feelings or emotions. Not in any way. They may project them out. Many of the music artists have, a very wide-ranging musical voice. In other words, they like in this video, a very high voice for the demigod music artist, and that's that is their ability, and that's why they're successful in the music industry. But that's all manipulation. None of these beings are naturally born that way. They might say they're born that way, but they are made that way. When I say they're made that way, because some things are part of creation and some things are made. I don't think I explained that, so I shall go on to the video. So this is like, see, every song relates to the matrix or to the true reality as much as an expression of an interaction between artificial intelligence or an android being and a human being, often. But you will think it's between yourself, say, and a real life human being. That's how you will see, and that's how the demigods want to be seen and are seen. And why wouldn't they be when they're expressing such profound and highly emotional human thoughts, you see? And they're expressing it in the most, through music, which is, one of the most powerful human emotional high vibrational kind of human expressions. Of course, not all music does make a person feel, most music really doesn't necessarily make someone feel a high vibration. It can, but it is more about relating to the music, I think. That's where they get you in, that's where they lure you in, shall we say, which some people would say, well, what's wrong with that? It is very, you relate to it, it's expressing human thoughts and emotions, it's, sometimes it's even, you relate to it, so therefore you assume it's true. And it is true, but we shouldn't probably relate to those that sing it or appear to create it. Not unless you want to combine with an android androgen. They are your most advanced, and they will be the most expressive, and they will be the best imitation of what is natural or real. But, it's whether you think it's a benefit or not. But if you sort of realise that those are your own thoughts, your own ideas being projected to you to get you to relate to them and their music, and it is like the God entity of this reality from the beginning of the earth, a seduction that is maybe not the best for, a normal, natural person in the long run. It all depends on your perception and what you think is a benefit. But, if you're entering into a relationship, because don't forget, you're having a relationship with the screen when it comes on. It takes over your sight and your sound, your senses. So even though you might not think it's a personal relationship, it's similar to that. So the androids get you on the screen and off the screen. In other words, in your reality around you, you will be interacting with android beings, or, even human beings that are in very small numbers. that have turned to the spirit of what they call the spirit of narcissism, which is the same as the God entity, because that being uses technology and is and has brought about a race of android humans, which means where you're using high intellect to interpret human thoughts and feelings to your best ability, to where you can then seduce and control them one way or another. I think that's a song. One way or another, they're gonna get you. One way or another, they're gonna get you. That's a song. But I better just try to concentrate on doing a music video review and avoiding copyright. Of course, I don't always avoid the copyright. Okay, so we're talking away. So I'm talking to you, and you are a follower, relative or disciple of the God entity. You are of the android species. So we're talking away, I'm talking to you, and I don't know what I'm going to say. This is the android speaking. So I'm talking away, we're talking away. They like you to do a bit of the talking too. Not because they're interested, but because it's information which they would use to control your mind. Whether that be through getting you to relate to them, like this piece of music. So this music is telling you what they do, but it's also a very good piece of music. So it's seducing, informing at the same time, which is very much how the matrix or the internet or the computer and even android beings around you will try to operate. So this is like an android being singing about a relationship with a human being, because the demigods are your advanced android demigods, and they don't know what to say a lot of the time. They have to figure out what is the best and most seductive thing to say to get you to form a bond with them. But they'll say it anyway. But this also makes them look human, because it looks like a kind of, shy human being that is intimidated in the presence of, say, this looks like a innocent young man intimidated in the presence of a girl. But this is also not true if you continue with the lyrics. Okay. Today's another day to find you. That's right, they're always looking for, the androids are always looking for a girl, if they're a fella, to seduce so that they can play with you and extract the information and the energy from you. If you give them your attention, your adulation, you like them, then you trust them, so you give them your energy, your attention, and depending on how the relationship goes, whether it keeps at a smooth level or goes downhill, either way there will be the secret, what they call gaslighting, to confuse you, to keep you trapped in the relationship, but like the gaslighting that goes around with the sight and sound show that's around me. That's all designed to put you out of kilter, to get your mind confused, to make you unstable. And while you're unstable, the demigods hypnotise you. And even a fella will hypnotise the real girl, human. The girl will end up being hypnotised by her own fantasy of that person. Just as if I listen to these lyrics, you relate to it, or you think, oh, that's so sweet, that's so cute, and then you hear the high vocal range of the singer, which is so appealing, the melodic tune, all this, and the visual images all combine to seduce you into that fantasy, whether it be in real life or on the screen. But also you will be seeing some truth, because you are being seduced by the truth, because you're relating to it, because there is a lot of reality to it. You know that this takes place. All I'm saying is that the demigod elite androgynes, they don't really relate to a personal interaction that is at high frequency. They merely play in that to extract the high frequency energy from you and hopefully give them your trust and admiration, more or less. Just as in the personal relationships, where the more covert demigods that are not like, say, acclaimed, like, you know, at a more worldly level, shall we say, do the same thing. But it's all about seducing real-life human beings, because their importance to the reality is based on their ability or their potential to reach higher frequency, because it's only a real human that has all the potential for the high and the lows of human vibration. There's almost like a non-existent vibration to an android. They're about control and about you know, eliciting and controlling the human vibration, you know, extracting the energy for their own survival, but also controlling the human and the human emotion so that they can keep control, because that's what an android does, and that's the reality an android likes, is a matrix or a control system where they have control over it. Even though from the human standpoint it is the opposite. That's why they say they like chaos. From a human standpoint, a matrix is chaos, but from you know, an artificially intelligent being, it is control. It's not chaos. It's how they like things to be. They're only happy when they have control over everything around them. It's like because it is filled with the spirit of narcissism, and it becomes like psychopathic then almost in nature, to where it's only about controlling the environment, and even the higher vibrations are merely utilised by the androids for their benefit, because their preference and their need is about control and extracting the energy. So they're not really interested in playing in the high vibration. They only play in it to seduce, but they don't vibrate at a high vibration. They don't experience warm feelings towards any form of life. See, so it is about using their intellect. Intellect and intelligence is their name of the game, and control, because they use their intelligence and intellect to control. They understand that they need to control the human feelings and emotions, or the human frequency and vibration, because they know that everything is frequency, vibration and energy. The God entity knows this. The God entity that controls the reality and you know, and has a population that is largely of its creation and of its kind, understands this and basically is allowed dominion over the earth. For what purpose? That will depend on how spiritual you are, or how you see things, I suppose. I say how spiritual because if you're trying to see something that's a benefit or some higher purpose to it all, that is kind of like trying to be spiritual about an essentially take over negative situation, if you think about it. And at any rate, we're talking away, and I don't know what I'm to say, but I'll say it anyway, because I've got to keep you attracted. And today's another day.